This is a Valiant Star podcast. Enjoy. Hello, beautiful nerds, and welcome to our 2-year anniversary special. Today we have our interview style episode with Tones and Lenny, but without further ado, I'll have Tones take it away.
We have me and Lenny's interview starting today, and we got Dan being our
question.
But
I'm gonna say questionnaire. That's not right.
There you go. So that's a word. I was trying to think of what they are.
Mediator.
At
that's what you said.
Yeah, mediator. That's what it is.
Questionnaire.
I was trying to think of the actual word, but it all works.
Yeah.
We're going through everybody. We're having pairs of two, kind of to ask each other questions, answer and just give a little conversation so you guys get to know a little bit more about us than you already do. Because obviously you guys get to know the nerdier sides of us. But this is more of a personal look at all of us.
Yeah, and I mean, we did the first one. It went really well. I remember Tones just saying "Oh, I can't wait to do." The other.
It was my favorite recording. I'm not even gonna lie.
It was fun. Yeah. You guys ready for me to ask the question?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. So first up, even though I know the answer to this, what book has impacted you the most? Go.
All right. So Lenny, do you want me to start or do you want to start?
You go, because I'm not gonna say what you're gonna say. I have a slightly more serious answer for this one.
Okay, so I also have a more serious one, but I'm going to say the kind of joking one first.
Okay.
Solo leveling.
So solo leveling, right?
Yeah, we love solo leveling.
God.
Before I get into the more serious one, unironically, I love solo leveling. We all know this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it right now. We've talked about it before, but we're doing a minisode when season 2 ends.
Oh my god,
so,
we have to. So
we really do.
On.
It's just... it's not even the best thing, story wise. It's just pure entertainment. It's so much adrenaline. I just love it. It's a power fantasy, yeah, but it's probably the best one out there.
Yeah, there's even if you just look at for the pictures, the art style is amazing. And it's worth just going through and rereading it just for the art style.
Every time he gets a new summon, it's just you just want to see how it looks as because obviously there's the source material, so you know what's going to happen, but seeing it and reading it are just two different things at this point.
Yeah.
And I swear, if it ever gets an anime, we're going to do an episode on it.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so Lenny, what's your more serious one then?
My more serious one. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, specifically The Lightning Thief. That was the first book I've willingly read.
Honestly, same.
But that partially inspired a lot of creativity in me, because I've grown an interest to Greek and I guess Roman gods, because they're the same thing but different names. But that sparked a lot of creativity in me, thinking about what other things I can think about when writing and doing other creative materials, especially when I got into more fantasy things when thinking about stuff, especially Dungeons and Dragons, I do with Antonio. It really helped spark a lot of ideas in me. That's Percy Jackson.
Would have to agree, especially with our campaign that we're doing right now. I like that our TM is just sticking to Greek mythologies because it's easy. We all know all the gods, but I also think that because I also read those books, and I think that for me, because I was also raised Catholic, it made me look at that, but on more of a mythological perspective, and I became more interested in that view. So I became more interested in the archangels, the the whole idea of Lucifer and Satan and how he was once an angel and how he's fallen. I came to enjoy those ideas more, and I think The Lightning Thief was a really good jumping off point for all that and learning about not just Greek and Roman, but all different types of mythologies. But there you go.
I was gonna say even now, it's not complete correlation, but it helps me think about settings. For fun, I like to make D&D campaigns, even if I don't ever run them. But even when I'm thinking about, it's based on not a god, but I don't know if I'm
a higher power.
not a higher power, but like it's weird to say like this, but like I don't know if I can say it like this, but it's technically in quotes the afterbirth of gods,
Okay.
named Atropos. Basically, he's like a planet-sized necromantic force that like controls undead, like just passively. And I want to make a campaign out of that, so that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay. So that's why you're asking about what undeads you'd want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess for my more serious answer, I would say the Berserk manga.
Oh.
Well, I've already talked about it very early on in the podcast, and I made Dan terrified of it. But like before I even read it, I like watched video essays on Guts and Griffith and why they're good like protagonists and antagonists, and that really made me wanna like read the manga and like see what it's all about. And after reading it, I can definitely say that it's like one of the best things I've ever read, even though it isn't over yet. And as time's gone on, it has become a lot slower, but it's gotten to a point right now where it's just like so much of it is just so poetic to me, because even now, like where it is currently, where Guts is like he's helped gotten Casca's memory back, but she's not even able to look at him without like breaking down. That sort of point where you've gotten your character to the point where they want to be, but it's only hurt them in the end, just show like it's just what the show's all, or what the book's all about. And I think that level of just like showing that this character hasn't reached rock bottom yet shows that he still has a long, like at the end of the day, there has to be some sort of resolution for Guts that just works out for him. But the fact that it shows that he can even go lower than he is right now shows that like he's still there. He's still put together to a certain extent. Just shows how strong of a character the author has created. And I think I've also taken inspiration from that when it comes to, you know, the character, like for what we're doing. I really like the idea of like breaking down a character to the point where they're like they almost can't handle it anymore, and then bringing them back and making them stronger than ever. So I think that's a really powerful like story arc. Yeah, I'm emo like that.
I just want to say that I know Berserk has like a reputation of being pretty gruesome, and some of the things can be pretty graphic. But
yeah,
I do agree, like the storytelling in Berserk, like as a whole, is really good. And still, I don't think
Berserk is for everybody, but I think that the people who can get into it like fully understand why it's one of like the best. I think it's like what the highest rated manga on Mal right now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's up there. Like it's very like critically acclaimed, and there's a reason for it. And I totally stand by all the hype. And I'm also very upset that the newer anime adaptation fucking sucks. I think that's it for that question then.
Next question. Why do you enjoy doing the podcast?
So did I go first technically last time, Lenny?
We gave your joke answer.
Yeah, that was a joke answer from both of us.
So you go first.
Me. Okay. Why do you enjoy doing the podcast? I want to say it's an excuse for us to get organized together, really. I enjoy doing it because, one, it's with all my friends that I've been through high school with.
And Eric.
And Eric. Eric is actually just someone that's really cool. And I didn't expect to be friends with him. Like, I always like knew Brandon, but I didn't expect to be like, you know, good friends with him. And now we're all together. And I grew closer bonds with him than a lot of people I knew in high school. So I think the podcast is just a really good friend group that wants to accomplish something. As for like enjoying it as a whole, I see it as an excuse just to hang out, just for a reason beyond being with friends. Because I know some people would be like, oh, that's fine, but like my parents are weird about it. Just like, if it's just hanging out with friends, then try to think of something else to do. But this is something else as a whole. So I do really like the podcast because it gives me that little bit more of an excuse to hang out with my friends.
So I very much agree with that. I think that was like at first that was like the driving force for when I wanted to, like when Dan brought it up and I was like, oh, that'd be a cool thing. A lot of it was just like we get to, you know, talk about stuff together, and I feel like we've definitely grown closer as a friend group, though we have like, bickered a lot, but I think at the end of the day we've all grown like closer because of it. But I also like the fact that like a lot of the things that we talk about now in the podcast, like I wasn't really big on at first. So I I remember one day when me, Dan, and Eric, we'd stayed up and we watched an episode of WandaVision, and we were sitting there theorizing about like what was going to happen next in the MCU. I like sat there because at first I realized I didn't put down like in our Discord that I was like a Marvel fan, and then after I was like, you know what, I am a Marvel fan, aren't I? And I think like doing all this, I've like definitely grown to like learn about new things and like new things. And I think that's a really cool thing that we've gotten to. Besides just like rubbing off on each other like humor wise, we've also like rubbed off each other's tastes on each other, and I think that's a really cool thing.
Next up, or you wanna? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you can go. I was still trying to go something, so you go. That's fine.
Well, no, it's just to move to the next question.
Yeah.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I should be putting check marks. My bad. What is a country you want to visit, and you would like to live in? So is that a slash, or is that also the country you would like to live in?
Slash.
Slash. Okay.
Because I have two different answers for this.
Gotcha.
So for the
Wow.
country I want to visit the most, I guess I'll start on this one because you started last time. The country I want to visit the most is Uruguay, because I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but I've definitely said to you guys that my dad is from Uruguay, and he lived there from the time he was born till he was 8, and then he moved to Italy, and then he moved here. So he's talked a lot about Uruguay, and because he lived on the coast, so he talked about like the pink sand and like how beautiful the beaches are. So I definitely want to go there and see that, because unlike Patty, who hates the beach, I like the beach. It's fun. But I think that's just, he's talked about it so much, he made it sound so beautiful that it's something that I want to do before, it's something I want to do once in my life. And as for where I'd want to live, probably Japan. I'm a weeb. That'd be cool. I can get stuff early. There's a lot of just shit in Japan that you can just be like, wow, that's weird, but kind of cool. And also like, yeah, I mean, Japan's, from what I heard, like pretty English friendly. Like obviously it's better to know more Japanese than not, but you can get by just knowing English and picking up Japanese as you go. But it'd be a cool place to live, at least for a year, I would think.
The country I want to visit, I'm gonna say Russia.
Fair.
I did quite a little bit of research when I was in elementary school, because Russia, just as a country, interested me from its history to like what it has now. There's one country where I just like, before I became like, as much of a weeb I am, I want to learn Russian. And I want to know like what was in Russia and like the culture and everything. So I guess Russia was like, before I even like became a weeb, that was just like the one thing where I nerded out about. And then for where I wanted to live, I couldn't think of anything. You said Japan, which was like one of my backup ones, and I still couldn't think of an actual one. Damn. Might have to also say Japan, because I was gonna say Australia, but then I couldn't think of a good reason for Australia.
Kangaroos are cool.
Kangaroos are pretty cool. And Komodo dragons would be a really cool pet as well. But yeah, no, I'm gonna just put Australia for where I want to live, because that country is just pretty cool.
That's fair. Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
I think if I had that question, I probably would have said the same thing as Lenny with the Australian part.
Aussie.
Okay, so we got next question. What is your earliest memory?
When I used to live in New York, I went to a Catholic school, or it might be, I've been told that I'm Baptist, but I'm pretty sure that was a Catholic school. I might look it up later. But I went to a school called Holy Cross, and I spent my kindergarten to first grade in that school. But yeah, and I remember walking there. I made a few friends there. Like these are really like faint memories that I had. across the street they had a park, and like a lot of times I'll get in trouble. Like I remember 1 month that I was there, I got in trouble like 19 times. I don't remember for what though.
Just got in trouble casually, you know.
I just got in trouble. It's New York. I was in New York, and I was a kid. Of course, I got in trouble.
I also find it funny because Lenny's mentioned before that the reason why he talks the way he does is because his first language was Spanish, but he's forgotten all Spanish.
Yeah, no, it's because I had a babysitter who only spoke Spanish. Her family can speak English, but my babysitter, who I was like left at her house, only spoke Spanish, so I learned Spanish from her. But then I couldn't talk to my family, so I forget what other reason there was, but my parents had to teach me Spanish to sign language, and then from sign language to English.
Wait, I didn't know about the sign language part.
Yeah, no, my dad taught me sign language, and then from sign language, I learned English. And I don't remember the first two, like at all.
Yeah, that's tough.
Probably because I was still in like first grade. Maybe in kindergarten. I have no idea. I was young, so I guess I just like learned it faster than I should have. I just forgot all the other things. Also, the fact that I used to be left-handed, but you know, I went to Catholic school.
Yeah, they beat that out of you.
Yeah, that's why my handwriting's terrible as well.
Oh, mine's just bad because I'm bad at writing. I don't even have an excuse for that one.
Mine is too, but like I can say I have an excuse, so it's fine. I still get yelled at by my parents no matter what, but you know.
I guess so what I always say is my earliest memory, because I can't think of anything earlier. I think I was like 2-ish, and my cousin got married. So I was 2, so I was the ring bearer. And only thing I can remember from that night was that the flower girl was really annoying, and she just kept on like handing me the bouquet of flowers, or the basket of flowers, and then she'd like hand me her purse or like her little bag, and then she'd like keep on doing that for like the whole night. And all I could think of was like, why do I gotta hold your stuff? Like, I'm so confused. And by God, I did not want to be there. That was the one and only time I've ever worn suspenders.
Oh.
And I remember that for some reason. I don't know why I remember wearing suspenders, but I do.
You fancy boy.
Yeah, I was. I was fancy little boy. Little baby tux.
I was gonna say something with little baby bitch boy.
Little baby bitch boy with his bitch tux.
I definitely got Patty to laugh right there. All right. All right. Should we go on to the next question? You got something else?
I think that's it for that one.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm interested in this one. What's your guys' favorite franchise?
So I guess I'm first. I again have 2, and they're gonna become as no surprise to anybody. And they're Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts. Both have been actual disappointments throughout the years, but like, you know, one more so than the other. But yeah, no, Pokemon, they were like the first games they weren't the first games I ever had, but they were like the first ones I like were really into. It was the first time I was like, wow, this is like I want to buy the next one, and like I want to keep up to I engrossed myself in Pokemon. Like I learned all their names, I learned like types and how that worked. I remember that there's one time I was playing Pokemon Diamond, and I got a Pokemon card of Torterra where it knew Leaf Storm. So I nicknamed my Turtwig Leaf Storm, and then it learned it. And I think I was playing it on the bus, and Kyle was there.
Thing.
And he was like, "Oh wow, it didn't learn Leaf Storm. How'd you know that?" I was like, I'm cool like that." But something along those lines. And I was like, yeah. So I'm at the point now where I just know more about Pokemon than I should. I remember once, I think Grayson was over my house, and he was playing Soul Silver, and he was asking, and he was like, had the volume on, and he asking me and He Who Shall Not Be Named, like what the Pokemon cries were, and I was naming them out correctly. And that's when I knew I had played too much Pokemon. And as for Kingdom Hearts, I don't know. It's childhood thing. I shouldn't like it. It's really dumb story-wise. I know too much about that story too. I still need to do the Minnesota with Dan where I tell him about the Kingdom Hearts story and summarize it for him. I will again realize how sad my life is, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, I guess that's it for my favorite franchises.
I plead the fifth.
I do too.
God, I also stuck on 2 for this one. I guess I'll go with Call of Duty, but like not new Call of Duty. Like I'm talking about PS2 like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm trying to remember the games I've played specifically. The 2 that I played the most is Call of Duty 2 Big Red One and Call of Duty Finest Hour. And let me tell you, that is the first time I've cried. That's the first time I've gotten emotional over anything. In Finest Hour, and specifically like the Russian part, you played as people who are trying to retake Stalingrad and push the front line back to Germany. And like, there's so much loss. Like characters that you've played once die. That's how like big it is. Like, and I want to say the second mission, there's a Russian sniper lady that like helps you and guides you through like a series of pillboxes to take over a bunker. And then you get to play as her for like another 2 or 3 missions, only for her to die from a tank shell in the next one.
Oof.
I was like genuinely upset about that because I was like, she's really cool, and having a sniper was just busted. But then Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, although there was a lot of loss in that one, there's one death that like I actually cried for. I forgot his name too, but like he specifically like was like a genuinely cool character. He had like the helmet that was over his eyes. It was really like mean, but he was more like a tsundere type of character where he was a dick, but like he was also very caring.
Baka.
So I felt for him. But when he kicked down a door and got shot by 2 Nazi machine gun nests, I broke down in tears. Because before that, your sergeant would get shot by a sniper and he lived from that. And then he got shot again and he actually died. I was like, okay, it was foretold, you know?
Yeah.
But then when that one guy that you liked, that was like one of the strongest in your squad, gets gunned down, and you just didn't expect it because you're not allowed to open doors in that game. Only your teammates can open doors. So when that happened, I was just like, bro, that's just messed up.
I think I also had that for like Kingdom Hearts, because in 358 over 2 days, there at the end of the game, there's a part where you have to fight like one of your best friends in that game, and she's pretty much become a monster at that point. But at the end of it, after you beat her, the game just like Roxas, the character you play as, is like holding her in his arms. Her name's Xion. And like she's telling him like, oh, like get revenge for me, stuff like that. Like pretty much telling him like that the organization they work for is fucked up and they're just tools, and to end it. And as she's like saying all this, he's slowly forgetting that she exists. So by the end of it, because they're both like, everything has to do with Sora at the end of the day. So they're both part of Sora, but she then like, this is where Kingdom Hearts becomes weird, because she disappears, but like her power or whatever, like he absorbs it. But the important part of this is that while this is all happening, he's forgetting her, and he's crying over somebody that he's forgotten, and that's what fucks me up. He doesn't know why he's angry, but he just knows he's fucking upset and he's pissed. And then it's even worse when you realize that Kingdom Hearts 3, that Axel, the other friend, also forgot about her and doesn't remember her until they're like fighting. That shit fucked me up. The only good part of Kingdom Hearts 3 was the Axel, Roxas, and Xion shit. That's all I cared about. God, I'm sad. So then you had another franchise, right, Lenny?
Oh, right. The next one I was gonna say was Alien vs Predator. I don't know if that's exactly a franchise or not, but
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a franchise. Alien
Alien
Predator.
vs Predator is basically my childhood like movie series. Like I was so excited when like games came out for it. but I couldn't even play any of them, sadly. It was only like until mid high school that I got like Alien vs Predator for the PC, and this one's like so old. It's like weird, but like for me, I just love the perspective of like the xenomorphs, because there's not a lot of games that will let you play like an antagonist, especially a one that's as intricate as xenomorphs, which is just like, think of ants except much more lethal and like the size of humans. They are such an apex predator that there's another race that will use them as practice because of how lethal they are. Yeah, I just really like Alien vs Predator and the concept of it. Call of Duty is just kind of nice. Only the old ones though, because the campaign and storytelling is really good.
Yeah, I never grew up with Call of Duty. The only one I ever played when I first came out was MW3, and that was only because my cousin had it, and I just played Special Ops. So that's like that's like the biggest experience I have with Call of Duty.
All right, next up. Oh yeah, I forgot this is the game. What's the theme song of your life? And also you can plug in the playlist if you want to.
Lenny,
I can't think of this theme song of my life.
if you need time, I got mine. I'm honestly just listening to it now.
I'm looking for one. I don't have one at all.
Do you want me to go first then?
Yes, please.
All right, so my theme song to my life has nothing to do with my fucking perspective on life or anything. I'm not deep and emotional like Dan, or like, have a reason like Patty. I just really like this song. And it's Acid Dreams from Nier Replicant. And this song just fucking gets me. I just love it. It's so like melancholy and somber. And every time I listen to it, I just get emotional. But as for, I put it on my character playlist because it goes along with her story of just being like fucking depressed. But it's just a good song. I just like, because the original Nier was like a decent game. Like the gameplay itself was kind of trash, but the story and the music was really good. And I haven't played the original. I'm gonna play the remake when it comes out. But yeah, the music I've listened to like all of it multiple times, and it's just so fucking good.
I have a song. I'm gonna post it because it's like, I don't like the original song's nice, but I just like this version better. So it's Naruto Bluebird, but it's a remix of it.
Okay.
And I like it because of the vibe it has. This used to be like a song that I would like. It used to be a song that I would only play on loop whenever I was studying, and then I changed my taste a little bit. But this is still a song I can go back to because of how calm it is, to me at least.
It's kind of like lo-fi-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually what got me into lo-fi, like a lot more than what I used to. But I say this is like a song that, I don't know if I say a theme song of my life, but definitely can represent me in a way.
That's a short one.
Yeah.
we don't have cool reasons like you guys.
All right, we
can listen to music like that.
Me and Lenny are like, it just sound good. I like this song. It's nice.
It got the
it's
beat
pretty.
though. This also connects to music. How would you describe your taste in music?
So I was thinking about this in the car today. I was like, how would I describe my taste in music? Because for the most part, like for a while I've stuck more towards J-pop and J-rock. I also like listening to K-pop and all that shit. I'm degenerate. But I've also been listening to a lot of like Fall Out Boy, Paramore lately, and I don't know why. Like that's what I grew up with. I grew up with country, sadly, and like classic rock. So two very like different things in my opinion. And then like from my cousin, I got into like I guess emo music. But I would say that emo side, J-pop, J-rock, K-pop, and then a lot of like video game soundtracks, mostly like the instrumentals. So like I was saying, like Acid Dreams is a big one. Final Fantasy music is really good. Persona music. Pokemon has some fucking bangers. I'm trying to think of other ones. I'm trying to go through my playlist to explain it. Oh yeah, and then more recently, the really weird shit. Like the fucking song that I put on my playlist that just goes backwards or like just like has people singing in like reverse. Yeah, shit.
Meme songs are always good.
It's not even a meme. It's just like weird, and I like it.
My God. All right. For me, I started with rap, I guess. Rap is just like one of the genres that stayed with me no matter what. As I went through life, it would go. I went into dubstep, became a weeb,
Yo, I'm
Was
still
into-
there.
got into nightcore, dropped nightcore because it got cringy at some point, and then I went into lo-fi, and then on a combination of that, J-pop. There's more that I'm not thinking of, obviously, but there's certain like music remixes that I like. Even now, like I got a lot of people liking the heavy metal versions of certain songs.
Oh my god, heavy metal Toho is so good.
It is. So I guess heavy metal will be technically part of it, but it's also connected to like other songs of other genres. There's like even like I've mossed onto songs like on some of my playlists that I really like that also have heavy metal mixed into it. So I guess yeah, heavy metal will be there. Just only like remixed heavy metal, I guess. And I think that's about it for my taste in music. So rap, lo-fi, and heavy metal remixes. I still like Eminem. I don't care what people say.
I honestly have no opinion on him. I know that everybody liked him more, like when he like first started.
When it was Slim Shady, he was the
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on rap.
Well, the real Slim Shady, please stand up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's sitting down now.
Oh,
I say yeah. He's Eminem now. He's
oh
sitting
shit!
down.
Oh my God.
He's still rapping, but he's sitting
Yeah,
down
he's
right now.
old.
All right. So going into some more serious questions. I always end up saying it was serious and series really weirdly. That's besides the point. So next question: what's your biggest fear?
You have one, or do you want me to go for this one?
I don't got anything right now. If you can go.
I forgot how to word what I wanted to say. It was more along the lines of not meeting expectations. That's what it was. So I did Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout right now, as you see. But even throughout high school and throughout like my years, people expected a lot from me. This part of me that was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it. Like for like the last 3 years of high school, I was afraid that I wouldn't get my Eagle Scout. And that would haunt me sometimes because there was a point where I've done half my Eagle Scout project and then I stopped doing it because of school. And I realized I had to do it. And then there was a point where my dad changed jobs so he couldn't help drive me there to like actually do my project. And that like part of that, it was like one of the things that gave me fear of not being able to accomplish things that people expect me to accomplish. Luckily for that, I had the troop, and the troop liked me. I used to be a senior patrol leader. I was extremely helpful for other people's projects, and I was someone that some people looked up to. So of course there's people there to help me. There's people like more than willing to assist me and give me advice on how to do things. So thankfully I had people to help me there. But I still have the fear of when I'm being alone, of do things myself, what people expect from me, which is why I try to make the bar lower for myself. Which is probably not a good thing in general, but it's a thing that helps me mentally. Just lowering my own bar so that when I do things that are good, it's above the bar that I set. I guess for general fears that I've gotten over public speaking fairly early because of Boy Scouts. There's a lot of merit badges that involve me speaking out in public. Even my Eagle Scout project was going to the town hall, talking about the project I wanted to do, which was building a cemetery sign over basically a cemetery that was in the middle of not an actual, well, I guess I can say it's a highway, but it was a main road. And like, you can drive past it and not realize that you drove past the cemetery. So it wasn't hard to explain, but public speaking, I just got over that quickly. Can't think of any other fears, sadly. So
That's a good. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I guess for my biggest fear. So I'm gonna preface this with like a little explanation. So when we started high school, my sister was starting middle school, and she had a very, very tough transition. So she ended up like not going to school a lot, and like she ended up actually like having I forget what happened exactly, but she ended up having to get like ambulanced out because she was having like a panic attack, and it was so bad that she like literally couldn't do anything. And it was after that that she was diagnosed with a fear of school. And during this whole time, like, you know, I'm just we just starting high school. I'm starting high school. I'm finally like starting to figure out shit about myself, you know, shit like that. And I just, because of like what was happening with her, like whatever I felt at that point, I felt like whatever was happening with me, like whether it was small or not, just like wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't important enough, but like if I had issues, they weren't as important as like what was happening with her, because she's literally having mental breakdowns and like, you know, people being assholes, whatever. That's fine. So I think after that, I had a really hard time expressing what's on my mind. And I think even till now, I have a hard time like saying when I'm really upset about something. I think I've gotten better about it, but I guess my fear would be like, you know, saying what's on my mind all the time. When it's really like important about shit, I just leave it in. I kind of just like let it fester. And I think that's one of the reasons why, I don't know if I said it, but therapy, it helps. I've only done it for like a couple months now, but I've definitely already started to learn shit about myself. And I think that besides like, you know, the jokes I make about it and the jokes I make about like, you know, myself or whatever, that it's definitely important. So I don't know what to say about this. But yeah, saying what I feel, it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I do that a lot. I used to just be very passive about things I do. I'm still passive.
Yeah.
Now it's like, the breaking point, but you know, I feel like you're better about it.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just like, because I think part of it is just because like, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but like, cause out of like everybody in the group, I'm pretty sure I'm the only older sibling. And I think part of that is like, I kind of have a different way of looking at things sometimes, where like, instead of, I don't know how I explain this, but at least when it's like family dynamics, it's like a lot of the time I felt that's like, this probably isn't even like being an older sibling thing, but it's like her first, me after. So that's why I was always like, okay, whatever. So yeah. And general fears. I used to hate the dark. Now it's cool.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Live in it.
Exactly. Public speaking. Yeah. I remember there was like third grade. I had a really hard time doing a presentation. I literally just like couldn't do it. And now I literally do presentations in my classes about like Hatsune Miku and Smash. So I just don't give a shit anymore. And it's fun. Also, I think the podcast really helps with that. It's like talking in general. I'm not even going to cap. But yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, now we've reached the final question. Who do you look up to the most?
I think you went first, so I think it's me. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to bitch out again and do two. So I want to say both my parents, because I've gotten different things from both my parents. I'm going to start with my mom. So my mom, I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but out of both my parents, my mom is definitely the more like caring and understanding of the two. So my mom right now, she literally, so what she does right now, like as work, is she's like a in-home care person. And the way that she talks about about these people when she gets home and how like I see them treating her, just shows how much like she's able to connect with them and care about them, and I really respect that because I can't do that. I literally like I hate people. But my mom's like she's always done that. So she's been a hairdresser. She does that. But even when she's doing hairdressing, like she does that out of our house now. So they literally come here and they're pretty much just family friends at this point. Like they're customers, but they're also friends too. Like I know one of them even let us stay at her timeshare in South Carolina because she was like, yeah, I mean, if I'm not using it, someone has to use it. So she literally just gave us a place to stay down there so we can go on vacation. So it's stuff like that where I'm like, you're nice. And then for my dad's a very my dad is the person that I will like. My dad's not afraid to say stuff to me. So my dad says things how he sees them, and also he's able to just like say shit without he doesn't filter himself. So he just says what he's thinking, and he just says like, you know, if you don't like that, fuck you. So that's why I swear a lot, because he does. He hasn't censored himself at all since I was a kid. I remember the first time I called my sister a bitch when I was like 4 or something, and instead of yelling at me, he goes to give me a high five. I remember that so vividly. I meant to call her a brat, so I felt really bad. I was like, oh no, I said a bad word. And he's like, give me a high five. I mean, besides the fact that they're both hardworking, like my dad, he doesn't ever want to sit down. I always, like, whether I hear him fucking outside with his truck, like plowing, or like, because he's trying to do this thing where he's like expanding our driveway. He's trying to like, he's adding like gravel and whatever to like pretty much like stress it out. So I'll hear him like with his truck like pushing the shit, or he'll be like he over when COVID started, or like a little before it, or like during it, he fucking just made a bathroom because he's like, yeah, I've been wanting to do it, but he just fucking made a bathroom. Like he's just over the years, he's learned how to fucking like, he's learned some plumbing, he's learned some electricity work. He just fucking does it. I don't get it, but it's cool.
My dad, yeah, is the same. I feel you.
It's like I just like I don't get it. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about them.
Bathrooms
and hairdressing.
That's good.
For me, and this is an actual serious answer. I don't like to look up to anyone, personally. It's fine if people do it, but I feel like if you look up to someone, you want to be them. And for me, it's kind of like, that's nice and all, but like you should also try to be yourself at the same time. So whenever I see a question of like, who do you look up to, who do you aspire to be, I usually don't like that question, because just like, it's like, some people want to be like famous or something else. So I'm just sitting there like, I'd rather just be myself, you know?
I understand.
I know that's just a blatant like answer, but like, there's not a lot of reason for me to look up to someone when I have my own desires or like thoughts.
I think it's fair.
And I can't even like pick my family because I respect them and I respect like how they do things. Like how my mom's very direct with things and my dad likes a slow approach to a lot of things. But like sometimes I just cannot do what they do. Not because I can't, but because it's just like,
why?
Yeah, basically. And like certain like celebrities, it's just like you could be one of them if you really want to, but like not everyone's perfect. Someone that you really liked or looked up to. For me, it used to be Chris Brown when I was younger.
Damn.
Like rap. And then, you know, that one thing he did. So that's why I stopped looking up to people. Because it's like, people can be cool and all, but they have lives of their own. They can do their own things. They can do bad things. So
I was honestly talking about that with my dad yesterday because he was watching a documentary on Michael Jackson, and I was like, he definitely did that one thing. And he's like, yeah, but like at some point, I'm just gonna like separate the artist and the art, and be like, yeah, Michael Jackson, terrible person, but he had some good songs.
Exactly. Like, I told someone like, I like Michael Jackson.
Oh, you just saw that?
Yeah, you're fucking dead. Oh my god.
I guess my joke didn't get him. It came down to this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's my answer. I don't like having someone to look up to. Role models. I'm not gonna say role models are cringe, but they're not as important.
They're not for you, Lenny.
they're not as important. And I wouldn't say that. It's just like
I'm
people can be
built different.
themselves. I'm saying no. I'm telling everyone that's
No, yeah, I
watching
get
now,
it.
be yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. You can look up to
You
someone,
do you,
but like,
fam.
But like, I wouldn't say be them. Take parts of what they do successfully and just
Yeah.
put that into your own.
What Lenny said.
That's my take. No.
Mic drop.
All right, I think that is it. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot how we
How we
concluded
ended
the
it?
last one.
Oh yeah, someone like like. Well, I think by this point, it would probably already have done the live stream, possibly.
So,
But in case I'm able to make it into a video, check that out. On the YouTubes. I guess you can do the regular like send off.
all right, I guess that is it for this episode. Then, I hope you guys had a good time. I think you got to learn a little bit more about me and Lenny.
I certainly did.
I got a little
Winky face.
emotional at the end. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I haven't talked about that much besides with my therapist.
I would
But
say
okay.
I had the same sort of thing when Patty and I did ours. Like, but I just didn't say
Yeah.
nothing.
But yeah, so thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not gonna lie, when we did the first one, I thought that was the best thing that we did. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this just as much as I did.
Yeah.
You can make sure to listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell.
As Patty would say, ding the motherfucking bell.
Yeah, ding that motherfucking bell. We have a Discord, community Discord, so if you guys want to join, talk about all things anime, DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and video games, as well as some memes, make sure to join. You can follow us on all our social medias at NerdsBeLikePod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, I guess, but like don't actually because it's kind of cringe.
Me and Aaron
not
are
gonna
looking
use
at this, doing something. Maybe, I don't know. We're still looking.
We might be using it, but Twitter and Instagram are going to be the best places.
Yeah.
Patty's on the Twitter. Eric and Brandon are on the Instagram. And then
Yeah.
also, if you got any suggestions, email us at nerdsbelikepod@gmail.com. Make sure to review us. Give us 5 stars for that Patty ASMR reading. And then we got merch. I'm not going to go over the whole spiel because Brandon isn't here. But that shit good. So cop yourself something nice.
All right, quick interruption. We also have personally curated playlists for the characters or avatars, whatever you want to call them. They'll be linked in the description below. Should be in every interview going forward. We'll have that as well. So check those out, and I'll give it back to Tones.
And then we got links. So we
Yes.
got I'm gonna say the first one last because
Okay.
shit's been happening. But
Right.
we got ways to help Texas, African American communities, and coronavirus donations, as well as more recently we've added the Asian American communities to support them. Stuff has been, as of recording right now, stuff has been happening and it's not okay. Shit's fucked up. So make sure to help them, especially right now, because this has been going on for a while, but shit's getting even worse now. So
Yeah, and
They need
I
help.
mean, because when Tone said at this point of recording this like maybe like 2 weeks before it's actually going to go
late March.
up. Yeah, so I mean, this is when we're currently recording, and these resources will still be here. Like at any point where anybody needs them, they'll be there. And I'm even going to try to include some more, maybe in a bigger link or something like that.
But I think besides
Yeah.
that's it for this episode.
So we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Bye bye.
Peace.